Here we go. It says 50%. Not exactly right. This is a part of my celebrating 50 years in Regen Ag. So this is some footage from Duke's Plain at Theodore. Brigalow regrowth that was strip blade plowed in 1988. Took this drone footage a couple of years ago. And yeah, I just happened to find it yesterday. So I thought, oh, I'll do something with this. Put it out there. This was a paddock that was the last time it was cleared to ground level was probably 1977 with a bushfire. Reduced all its regrowth to ground level. 1988, we went in with a blade plough. Took out 50% of it. So it was a little easier to find livestock in there when we were mustering. This more open stuff would have been more semi-evergreen vine thicket and a lot of thick brigalow scrub. What you'll see as we do this fly around, you can start to pick up some of the lines where the blade plough went through. This is a conglomeration of 8 paddocks, 8 30-hectare paddocks, so 240 hectares. And it's just a small part of Duke's Plain where the grazing country was just over 3,500 hectares. So I spent 31 years in this landscape. After first dipping my toes into permaculture in 1974 at West Karoi on the Sunshine Coast, it really started me questioning the wisdom of some of the conventional wisdom of agriculture and the total clearing of landscapes. This is a little bit more. You can see the strip's a lot easier in this lot. But what's happened in this, it's developing. There's trees dying, there's trees moving into dominance. There's a change in the pasture composition from a bufflegrass monoculture. Green panic is moving in under the trees. And you'll probably see that more in this part of the footage. You can see the different colour of green under the trees. That's the green panic coming through. It has really struggled hard because it's been predated on heavily by marsupials. And also when we put stock through here in the cell grazing system, they hammered this stuff under the trees and tended to leave the buffle. So what happened with the green panic, it tended to constantly be overgrazed, overutilised. The trial work we did in these areas, we had a reduction of 5 degrees in maximum temperature, and we were 5 degrees warmer in the wintertime. So some of our country, and we'll move into some of that after this, some of our semi-evergreen vine thicket country, which is really prone to frosting, we really reduced the frost damage in the pastures there. The clear paddock you can see straight ahead is where we re-cleared to grow cereal grain. So we did some 800 hectares of re-clearing regrowth to grow cereal grain. I see that now in hindsight as a major mistake. We really over-cleared it again. So there's a bit of a diversity of trees in here, and you'll start to see as we go through here, there's dead trees, there's some trees that are struggling, and there's other trees that are really thriving. So the forest is doing its own sorting out. Nature's sorting out what needs to be there and what doesn't. And the drone has got really good collision detection devices. It doesn't run into trees. The awe of technology. Here we're transitioning into semi-evergreen vine thicket country, a different soil type. It had brigalow on the edges. You can see the odd brigalow through here, but basically it's semi-evergreen vine thicket, an old dry rainforest. This is the stuff that used to frost quite heavily. The frosting in this country has been markedly reduced. The other thing in this country is no matter how dry it gets, it's always green. It's always got the green of the trees, so it's always feeding the soil feed web. It's always photosynthesizing. Oh, we're in for a bit of a ride now. I think we got a bit of turbulence on this video. For some reason or other, the drone got the shakes. It was nothing to do with the operator, I can assure you of that. That's the end of the semi-evergreen vine thicket. We're now back into some more predominantly brigalow country, which runs back into semi-evergreen vine thicket. The open areas in these videos is generally where we were growing cereal grains. We went in and re-cleared to grow cereals. So it's quite interesting, this part here. You'll see there's quite a straight edge on the brigalow there. I was looking at that when I first looked at it. Is that where it was cleared? No, it's not. It's a change of soil type and a change of forest type. So it's almost like a dead straight line. Soil change, we go from brigalow to a eucalypt woodland. And you've got that on both sides now. This is an awesome valley that's never been cleared. When all the scrubs were cleared in the early 60s on this place, they missed this because there was some doubt as to where the boundary line was. So it's like one of the greatest assets on this property. It's just a huge stand of remnant. Brigalow running back into semi-evergreen vine thicket. We're coming around here back into the cleared country. End of story. Bye-bye.